My fiancé gave me an ultimatum, so I gave him back the ring and kicked him out of my house. Am I the jerk? Hey friends, come on in. My name is Mike, and today we're reacting to some Am I the Jerk stories, where we determine if you are a jerk or just a little quirky.
Okay.
Am I the jerk? My fiancé told me this is it, take it or leave it, so I gave him the ring back and told him to get out of my house. As you should. My fiancé Tom, 37 male, and I, 28 female, have been together 2 years. He moved into my house 6 months ago and proposed a month ago. I thought we were solid, but now I'm questioning everything. I inherited a fortune 3 years ago. It changed my life, but I live below my means. I work part-time as a teacher, traveler, and have a nonprofit in the works. Good for you. Wow, you got a lot going on. I budget carefully so the money lasts. Only my dad and sister know the full amount. When Tom moved in, I paid for everything except most groceries. He wanted us to eventually buy a bigger house together so his dad could move in. I said no to living with in-laws, but suggested maybe a separate unit someday. He pushed back, but agreed we needed to discuss finances first. It kind of makes sense if his dad is getting older and needs some help. But if he's like pretty young and this is pretty new in a relationship, that's kind of a weird request to make. I don't know what Charlotte would say if I was like, hey, can my dad move in?
Why are you talking like that?
She'd probably say yes, because she is a sweetheart.
So cute. It's like too cute almost.
Tom earns $10K a month and has $100,000 saved. I have millions invested and about $40K per month income from it. Damn, good for you. Stacking that cheese.
It's the Leaning Tower of Cheesa.
When I told him, he was shocked. He said, if I have so much, why not just buy the house and cover everything? I explained that just because I can doesn't mean I should. Yeah, it's a little irresponsible and also kind of like insulting to just assume that she would pay for the whole thing. Mr. Passenger Princess. I proposed separate finances, a joint account for expenses, and splitting costs proportionally to income. I also told him I wanted a prenup. That's when things blew up.
Uh-oh.
He argued we should be equal partners, meaning I buy the house in both our names, even if he doesn't contribute. Yeah, right.
No, thanks. Please. No, thanks.
That's not how it works, brother. I think every relationship is different. If one person has a lot of money and the other doesn't, I can understand why they would want to have a prenup. And the fact that he just assumes that she's going to buy the house and put it in his name is kind of ridiculous. Like, this guy is a little stupid. As much as she loves him, it's quite irresponsible to do that. Because I'm pretty sure if his name was on title of the house, even though he didn't pay for it, and they got a divorce before he paid anything towards it, he would still be entitled to half the money from the house. We fought about this for days. Eventually, he gave me an ultimatum. Final offer, you buy the house, we each own 50%, I'll sign the prenup, take it or leave it. I asked if that meant breaking up. If I said no, he hesitated but said yes. Let me get this straight. This guy is trying to strong arm you with your own money in your own house?
Not up in here!
Not up in here!
So I left. I took off the ring, told him it was over and that he needed to move out.
Give me a hell yeah!
He backtracked, saying he didn't really want to end things, just wanted me to agree. Well, she called your bluff, dummy. He accused me of throwing away our relationship for money. I told him he threw it away by demanding I fund our life and give him half of assets I worked to protect. Now I'm wondering if I sabotaged my relationship. I love him, but I don't think it's fair to bankroll a grown man or accept ultimatums about my own money. Am I the jerk? You're very in the right to defend yourself and to stand up for your own money. I mean, that is your money. It doesn't matter if it was an inheritance, it's yours. And just because he lives with you doesn't mean that he can reap the benefits of that. Seems like there's something a bit more sneaky going on here.
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
Honestly, he's either being very conniving or he's kind of stupid, because no one would ever agree to that. And the fact that he's threatening the relationship, like he's the one who brought up the ultimatum. And now he's blaming her for throwing away the relationship over money when he just wants to be the recipient of said money.
That doesn't make sense.
I hope this is a real post, not the jerk, and perfect answer. Totally agree. You wouldn't want to get in a relationship with someone like that. Think about all the ultimatums he could throw at you later in life when you have like kids and things like that, right? That response was perfect. Nothing wrong with protecting yourself when someone's already showing their true colors. He's clearly trying to take advantage of you, whether he's doing it consciously or not. Not the jerk. He sabotaged the relationship by holding it hostage to guilt you into funding his lifestyle. Yep. We have a nice long comment here. Not the jerk. I was taught firmly and with no nonsense very young to never place an ultimatum I didn't mean. Never place it in anger and never bluff. Not when it comes to relationships, not when it comes to money, not when it comes to family, and not when it comes to employment. So basically never. Ultimatums based on trying to move the person to what they want? There's a word for that, and it's manipulation. The comment's quite long and goes on for a bit, but OP does respond. I agree with you. That ultimatum felt really manipulative to me, and I refuse to accept that. That's why I was so cold when I cut it off. I felt like he was just trying to manipulate me to get his way. Absolutely. It's kind of messed up that he would wager your entire relationship for this agreement. It doesn't make any sense. Like I said earlier, he's being a hypocrite and manipulative by saying,
wow, you would like throw away all this love for money?
When he was the one who was like,
you better give me that money or else.
Math isn't mathing for this guy. So the good news is we have an edit. A bit more context is always quite helpful. Before I keep going, you know what I'm about to ask. I would love if you could hype me up. I'm just trying to grow this channel, trying to be seen by more people. And I would love for you to just give me a little hype, give me a little support, like this video, subscribe if you like. And yeah, that's it. My preach is done. I'm over. It's done. All right, let's go. Let's go to the story. When we first started dating, he understandably questioned how I managed my lifestyle on a teaching salary. I explained that I had a small inheritance which allowed me to buy my house and have some savings to live on. I admit I may have been wrong to be vague, but at the time we were just starting to date and I wasn't comfortable sharing all the details yet, as you shouldn't have to. That's private stuff. My house is nice, but nothing extravagant. And during our relationship, we always split expenses 50-50. Dates, trips, everything. When he moved in, I offered to keep covering the utilities since I was already paying them and he would handle groceries. Things were fine until after we got engaged. I pushed for us to discuss everything openly before marriage and we agreed on most things. About his father moving in, this isn't something he wants right away, but he says eventually his dad would move in so he can take care of him. I adore his father, but I personally don't want to live with in-laws. Who does? His solution was that we should buy another house together so he would feel like it's our home instead of him living in my house. I understood that perspective, but the new house would also have to be larger if his dad were to move in, which I'm not comfortable with. Why is he so set on his dad moving in? That seems like pretty early, pretty soon. I don't know why he's pushing so much. Could be a cultural thing as well. About finances, initially when we discussed buying another house, the plan was to contribute together. But once we started looking at what we could afford, we had to lay our finances on the table. When he found out my net worth, everything shifted. Oh, I see. He said that if we split 50-50, we couldn't afford a bigger house, and since I had the means, I should buy the house myself, but it would still be our house. I told him that whatever amount he contributes would equal his share of equity in the property, period. You can be on title, but your equity in the house ownership is based on what you contribute. So you can't just pay 20% and have 50-50 stake in the house. Like, you have to pay 50%. Maybe I was naive, but until this point, I never saw signs of him being a gold digger. He never pressured me to pay for things and always split expenses fairly. That's why this change has been such a shock. Right now, I'm locked in my bedroom and I told him he can sleep in the guest room tonight, but that he needs to move out tomorrow. We haven't spoken since. That's where things stand. Thank you so much for all the support and comments. It means a lot. And just to clarify, this is a throwaway account I created for privacy reasons. Yeah, it is weird that everything shifted when he found your net worth, but people can get a little strange when it comes to money. People can get a little jealous. I mean, he's still making $100K a year. That's not nothing. So he's doing okay for himself, but just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you have to fund his entire life or existence. So we have an update.
This is so exciting.
Update 1. Wow, this blew up. Thank you so much for all your comments and support. This morning I woke up and Tom had made breakfast and asked if we could talk. He said things got out of control last night and he wanted to explain his side. You better get talking. And he also better clean the kitchen. He told me he was upset that I had lied about my finances and felt like I didn't trust him. He said the money difference made him feel that I would always have more power in the relationship and that he might be vulnerable to financial abuse. Financial abuse? Where did that come from? And honestly, like, that's more of a him problem than you. It shouldn't be about the money. It should just be about you loving each other and not like blowing it in his face. He insisted that he wasn't interested in my money, but wanted to feel that I could choose him over money. He admitted that he handled things badly and should never have reacted the way he did or given me an ultimatum. He said he felt lost and frustrated. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like he's projecting his own insecurity. He probably just saw green dollar signs and was like, well, isn't that ours? Aren't we a team? Aren't we like a couple? When you get married, that's when things really start to change. You start to really open up and expose your finances, things like that. If you're doing a prenup, you have to disclose all those financial documents. And yeah, I mean, things come up. It's not like you're going to show your girlfriend your bank statement on your first date. You have to earn that trust, right? And it's not that she was hiding this from you. It's just that it never came up. You know what it really sounds like? It sounds like he slept on the couch and missed your really expensive bed and was like, damn, I fucked up. The only thing he emphasized really matters to him is his father eventually moving in. They're very close and he wants to take care of him as he gets older. He apologized, said he didn't want to lose me, and told me he was willing to accept my conditions. At least he's taking accountability and apologizing and communicating his logic. I apologized for not being upfront about my inheritance, but I also told him I wasn't sure I could continue the relationship. His reaction last night felt entitled and manipulative, and I'm afraid he was showing me who he really is. I told him I love him, but I'm worried money will always be an issue between us. If he's already pushing for a house before marriage, what else might he push for later? Damn right. One thing I just remembered is that he's 37 years old. Like, he's not 28. So his dad may be older, so I can get why he's pushing for that, but also that kind of makes his behavior seem a little bit more conniving. You can't blame that on immaturity. He's biologically mature. I explained that the only way I could even consider continuing is if he agreed to... Let's read the list, shall we? 1, a bulletproof prenup stating that in case of divorce, he only leaves with what he contributed, nothing more. 2, agreeing to buy a house together, but his equity would reflect his contribution only. I also suggested options like a guest house for his father or a condo nearby, but not living directly with us. 3, creating a monthly budget where we both contribute proportionally to our incomes into a joint account for shared expenses, while keeping our separate accounts for personal money. 4, going to counseling together. I like how you snuck that one in there. I think those are all pretty fair. With a dynamic like this, I think you need a prenup. I think you got to protect yourself. He agreed to all of this. Still, I told him I don't know if I can trust him again and need time to think. He agreed to go stay in a hotel for a few days to give us both space. Did you pay for the hotel or did he? Got him! Right now, I honestly don't know what to do. Part of me sees his point and wonders if he just overreacted. But another part of me is afraid that if I ignore his behavior, I'll be setting myself up for a bigger problem in the future. I would really appreciate your help in figuring out where to go from here. My first instinct would be to delay the wedding. Would just be to go to therapy and say, look, I'm not going to marry you until I feel comfortable with your behavior in this situation, until we sign a prenup. But I think that the smart play here for you would be to take some time. Like, he's going to be 37, so he's going to be pushing for a faster wedding. Don't rush. Don't sign anything. Just go to therapy and say, you know what, we'll just be engaged indefinitely until I feel pretty good about it. And see if he changes. See if his demeanor changes. See if his self-efficacy improves. That would be my logical next step. Money doesn't change people, but it exposes their true self. Take that information as you will. Money is very taboo. It can make people behave in very different ways. It can expose people's true intentions. I don't mind being in a relationship where my partner is very successful and I'm not quite there yet, and I could get there. I believe that I can, but I'm not there yet, and I'm okay with that. That takes belief in yourself. That takes some courage. It sounds like maybe there's a bit of ego at play here with this whole financial abuse. I'm not sure where that came from. Change the lock of the house while he's at the hotel. I'm serious. Like you said, he's untrustworthy at this point. If you have a sick family member, you and your family look after that person. Dragging someone you've been in a relationship for 6 months into this is very weird, inappropriate, inconsiderate, and enforcing of him. OP responds, thanks for the advice. I'm calling a locksmith to change all the locks just in case. We've been together for 2 years, but only 6 months living together. I think there's a saying, live with someone through all 4 seasons, so you can see their dispositions. You can see them in their highs and their lows. That's when you truly know who someone is. 6 months, it's long. Not long enough, though. I still think there needs to be a bit of time. But hey, you know what? I know people who have been engaged after dating 8 months. And sometimes you just know. That takes a special type of dynamic, good communication, open with each other. But yeah, I mean, I always believed you have to live with someone for a decent amount of time to really know if you guys are compatible and to really see like the type of behavioral patterns that they have. I'm skeptical of his overnight change of heart. Tigers don't change their stripes. He's not 28, he's not 25, he's 37. He knows who he is. He is who he is. People can change, but I think something came out in him that was pretty clear. I think a lot of the comments are saying the same thing, that this is a huge red flag and that you should leave him. And, you know, it would be sad if the story was over here, but it's not, because we have one final update. Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you so much for all the comments and support. I took some time away to think, talk to my sister, my therapist, and my lawyers, and I've made my decision. Sounds like a pretty solid group of people to talk to. As much as I cared for Tom, I realized I can't marry someone I don't trust. Period. What happened broke that trust, and I know it would always be in the back of my mind in our marriage. Every financial decision, I doubt him, and that's no way to build a future. A few days ago, I asked him over and told him my decision. He admitted he messed up and wanted to try couples counseling, but I told him we're broken up. I agreed to counseling only as a way to see if reconciliation is possible someday, but truthfully, I feel like I'm just delaying the inevitable. I feel like you know in your heart. When you lose trust in someone, it's impossible to trust them again. As I've mentioned before, I was in a relationship, she cheated on me, whatever. But then, near the end of university, by divine intervention, I've never said this story out loud. I got a text from her out of the blue while I was listening to a song that I wrote about her. Very, very serendipitous. Long story short, we decided to meet up, and there was just so much pent up emotion and stuff that eventually, for a very short period of time, we started to date. And I'll never forget this moment where we were sitting having dinner and I was looking at her in the eye, and I couldn't believe she was sitting in front of me because I truly was in love with her, like, from the moment I met her. But I just couldn't trust her. There was something in my mind, in my heart, in my gut that was like, I don't trust you. You did this once, I can never trust you again. And that's just on me, right? People can build that trust back, but for me, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and I can totally understand where you're coming from in this situation. I had already packed his things, and he was hurt when he saw them, and that was heartbreaking, honestly. I felt really bad, but I knew I had to stand firm. He left with his things and is getting a new place. This has been heartbreaking and draining, but I know it's the right choice. Thank you again for the advice, encouragement. It really helped me get there. For those who worried about me making him homeless, don't. He makes good money and we live in a tourist city. Before moving in with me, he lived in hotels and short-term rentals for months. He hasn't paid rent here for 6 months. He'll be fine. He's not ending up on the streets. You made the right decision. It's hard now, but over time, you're going to realize you made the best decision of your life, and you'll find someone. It's going to be hard now, but over time, you'll get over it and find someone special, someone who deserves you. So you are not the jerk, and you're quite a lovely person and successful. Good for you.
Okay, next story. Hit it.
Am I the jerk for cutting my dad off after finding out he's having another kid? And we have screenshots. I like when we have text. It's like evidence.
Enhance.
Before anyone reads the screenshots, here's some background. When I was little, my dad was actually a good dad. If anything, I was closer to him than my mom. That changed after my mom found out he was cheating on her. She went through his phone and found messages showing he was sleeping with other women. I'm sorry, that's horrible. Divorce is never good, but when it's like that, it's just a terrible situation for everybody. After my parents split, it felt like he just gave up on having a relationship with me. I started rebelling a lot after that. I skipped school, stopped caring about a lot of things, and while I'm not saying all of my problems are because of him, I also can't pretend his absence didn't affect me. Growing up, he mostly showed up for the important events because he felt like he had to. Not that he wanted to. Sometimes he wouldn't even come to those. Every once in a while, he'd randomly stop by to make up for it, but it never felt consistent. When I found out I was pregnant, I FaceTimed him to tell him. He answered, looked like he was with his wife's family, and instead of being excited, he just whispered, "Not here." My mom grabbed the phone because she was confused, and before she could say anything, he hung up. That honestly hurt more than I can explain. My mom's side of the family was celebrating with me, while my own dad acted like hearing I was having a baby was something to hide. A few days later, he told my mom he was happy for me, but he never actually told me that. When I gave birth, he stopped by my grandparents' house just to drop off some money. My grandma told him I was literally in labor, and he still chose to leave for El Salvador to see his wife instead. I wasn't invited to their wedding, I wasn't included in that part of his life, and I've never even met his wife. Then recently he called my mom to tell her his wife was pregnant. I know babies are a blessing and I don't blame the baby at all, but hearing that broke me. It wasn't because he was having another child. It was because it reminded me that he was always capable of showing up. He just never chose to do it for me. Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a hug. I'm usually a good hugger. I don't smell great. Actually, I do smell pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's disgusting.
All we want to do is feel loved and appreciated, especially by our parents. And it's just so sad and disappointing that he didn't even stay for the birth of your child. He decided to go to El Salvador. And it's funny that he's calling his ex-wife to tell her that he's having a baby, but he wouldn't even see you when you were in labor. Very, very sad and disappointing. Before he called, I had already sent him the message in these screenshots. After reading his response, I blocked him because it felt like he didn't understand how much his actions affected me. It wasn't one event that made me cut him off. It was years of feeling like I came second, wasn't important, or was only acknowledged when it was convenient. I still care about my dad, but now that I have my own daughter, I want to protect my peace and show her what a healthy parent-child relationship looks like. That's honestly why I decided to cut contact. He has no pictures with my daughter as a newborn or as a toddler. She doesn't even know him. If you would have told me that as a little girl, I would have never believed you. Sorry for the long vent. Yeah, having kids is supposed to not only be for you, but it's for your family, for your parents as well, for them to kind of have a flashback. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to read the text now, and then we're going to go to the comments, okay? Hi, my mom told me the news. I'm genuinely very happy for your baby, but hearing about your new family forced me to finally accept something I've avoided my whole life. You were never really there for me the way a father should be. You missed some of the biggest moments of my life and somehow still expected me to act okay with it. My labor, postpartum, my milestones, the times I needed support the most, you were absent for almost all of it. I think what hurts the most is realizing you had the ability to show up, just not for me. And as happy as I am for this new child, the little girl in me can't help but grieve the dad she never got to have. I'm tired of pretending that doesn't affect me. I don't have anger anymore, just disappointment and hurt that never really left. I don't want to be a dark cloud over what should be a happy moment for your family, so I think it's best I step away and focus on healing. I truly wish you, your wife, and your baby the best moving forward. You said that very well. It was very articulate, it was very honest, and very sweet as well. You didn't wish him poorly. It wasn't aggressive. You just told him how you felt. And I think you said that very well. Her dad responded, I wanted to tell you personally, you are and always be my fist-born hun. Love you. I wanted to say that the way that he wrote it because he couldn't even take the time to autocorrect. It's like he typed so fast, he just wanted to get it over with. He didn't even acknowledge anything that she said, didn't apologize. He just said that he loves her. She spent so much time crafting this beautiful message, and that was his response. Kind of says a lot, to be honest. OP responded, I loved you too. I think part of why this hurts so badly is because no matter how old I get, a part of me still wanted my dad. I'm glad you wanted to tell me personally, but I can't ignore the years where I needed you and felt alone. I genuinely hope this new chapter in your life is full of love, and I hope one day you understand why I had to finally say all of this. Dad responds, what do you mean loved me? You don't love me no more? And then OP blocked him. I think he finally got the message. On one hand, I'm proud of you and happy for you for finally standing up for yourself. You're an adult now. You are a parent. You're taking matters into your own hands. But that couldn't have been easy. That must have been so hard for you. So sending you lots of love. Big hugs. Okay, let's go to some comments, even though I know what these comments are going to say. My main takeaway from the messages is that it seems like he didn't even read what you wrote. Exactly. Couldn't even frickin' fix the spelling. He just noted the first line, assumed you were about him, not telling you personally, and moved on obliviously. From your explanation, I wonder if his wife or her side of the family even know about you. Some people are only good parents to little kids who can't question things, or when they have a partner who does all the hard work. Sounds like your dad fits into both these categories. I'm really sorry you've been dealt such a poxy hand with him. OP responded, oh, she knows about me, and let me add that she also does not like me or my mom. Another thing I won't understand why he chose that decision. Not the jerk. Dad Def made it look like he wants a clean slate with the new baby. OP responded, thank you. Exactly what I think too, sadly. Yeah, that's the case. I think he wants that, and I think his wife wants that as well. Wow, he didn't even read or comprehend what you were so kindly and gently telling him. When people who are incapable of love are our parents, it's very painful and dangerous to keep expecting love. It can skew our idea of what is acceptable behavior from someone who says he loves us. I hope you don't accept less than full love and respect from a partner. Yeah, on that note, I'm very grateful that I have very loving parents. Sure, they have their quirks, but they love me undeniably, and they were always there for me growing up. So I love them. It sounds like you're on track to break the cycle, and I hope you do. And so with that, I will say you are not the jerk. Of course you're not the jerk. You stood up for yourself, you established a boundary, and I think you're gonna be a better parent because of it, and a better person. Shall we have another? Am I the jerk for calling my friend's emergency contact when she left her kid with me for 20 minutes and vanished? My friend, Kayla, 29 female, asked if I could watch her 6-year-old son for like 20 minutes while she ran into a store near my place. I said yes because I've known her for years and I've watched him before. He's a good kid. She showed up, dropped him off with his tablet and a snack and said she'd be right back. About 40 minutes later, I texted her a simple, hey, everything okay? No reply. An hour passes. I call. Straight to voicemail. I start getting that hot panic feeling because I'm not his parent and I don't know what's going on. Her son starts asking when mom is coming back and I'm trying to keep it light. Like, soon, bud. While I'm like also refreshing my phone like a maniac. I texted again. Then again. Still nothing. At the 2-hour mark, 2 hours? Oh my gosh. I'm honestly scared something happened, but I'm also pissed because this is not 20 minutes anymore. I also had plans later and I'd basically been volunteered into childcare with no end time. Yeah, I would be worried too. I have a pretty wild imagination, so like if a friend of mine hasn't texted me in a while, I'll go to a dark place, be like, okay, where is he? Should we call the police? I'm that guy. I finally looked at the little info card she once left in her bag, emergency contact and pediatrician, stuff like that, and called the emergency contact, her older sister. Didn't call to get her in trouble. I called because I didn't know if Kayla was in a car accident or had passed out or what. Her sister answered immediately and sounded confused, then went quiet and said, wait, she told you 20 minutes? Apparently, Kayla had texted her earlier that said she was going to look at a car with a guy she's been seeing and might be out a while. Why would you lie about that? That's so weird. So she used me as a free babysitter so she could go to this and just chose not to tell me. It's a lose-lose for everyone. If you were just like open about it, like, hey, I cheat like an hour, that's one thing. But like to say you're going to be gone for 20 minutes and then ignore all the texts, this is so juvenile. Her sister drove over and picked the kid up and she was polite, but I could tell she was annoyed too. About 30 minutes after that, Kayla finally calls me furious, saying I embarrassed her and made her look like a bad mom. You should be embarrassed. She said her phone died and she lost track of time. I asked why she didn't plug it in or why she didn't just say she needed a couple hours. She said because I would have said no, and she really needed this. That's not a good excuse. That's not a good excuse. I've seen this all the time. Just ask. She also said I had no right to involve her family, and now her sister is judging her. She should, because it was a pretty stupid thing to do. I told her I'm not a drop-off zone and I'm not comfortable being lied to about someone's kid. She's telling mutual friends I overreacted and that I'm dramatic for calling her sister instead of just waiting. So, am I the jerk for calling the emergency contact when she disappeared? If she looked like a bad mom, it's because she was being a bad mom, not the a-hole. I mean, that's it. She's just embarrassed that she got caught. Not the a-hole. I'm willing to bet that the friend asked her sister and sister knew she was up to BS and told her no, so she pivoted to you and lied to you. No wonder why she was confused at first when you called. Yeah, 1,000%. You definitely weren't her first call. And I bet you her sister has like called her out for BS like this too. So getting her sister involved, she's mad because it's close to home. This is a great take. It says everything when she admitted she lied in case you said no. Or in her words, it was something along the lines of because you would have said no. She is irresponsible and dishonest. Totally agree. That's such a cop-out excuse. And as a parent, you should know better. The fact she dropped him off, said 20 minutes, didn't answer your texts, didn't answer your phone calls, and then at the end, when you called her out, didn't take any accountability, I think she's the a-hole and you're definitely not the jerk. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, you will love this one. Let me know in the comments how I did. And of course, subscribe.